Hello, my name is Hillary and I'm a scrub nurse at North Country Hospital in the operating room. I've been working on a project to implement a new system into the OR that will increase patient safety and save the OR money. I will be discussing this project throughout my presentation. First, I will discuss the standard procedure for missing surgical items in the OR. Then I will talk about why the new system is needed. The solution to these problems is the RF Assure detection system. I will also talk about the budget for this project. The standard practice in the OR is to count at least 3 times during surgical procedure. The first count is performed before the procedure begins, the second count is when the surgeon starts closing, and the final count is performed at the end of the procedure before the surgeon leaves the room. What is included in the counts depends on what the surgical procedure is, but counts may include sponges, needles, blades, cautery tips, and in big cases, the instruments will be included in the counts as well. Counts will still be performed even if the new system is implemented into practice, but the procedure that happens if a count is incorrect will be different. If a count is incorrect during a procedure, the surgeon has to stop what he was doing and help look for the missing item. If the item is not found, an X-ray tech has to come to the operating room and take an X-ray of the patient while the patient is still under anesthesia and the operative site is still open. As you can see, the standard procedure is very time-consuming. The more time that is spent in the operating room, the more money is spent by the OR. While the staff is looking for the missing item or waiting for the X-ray tech to get to the OR, the patient is still under anesthesia. The longer someone has to be under anesthesia, the more dangerous it can be to the patient. Surgeons want to be able to close the operative site as quick as possible to avoid infection. In the original scientific article, Retained Surgical Sponges, many studies were completed and there is evidence that resolving an incorrect count can take 12 to 23 minutes. And this includes calling the X-ray technologist to come down, looking for the surgical item, completing extra counts, and so on and so forth. And on to the next section, which is human errors. As human beings, we are apt to make errors. Manual counts may be incorrect due to nurses being in a high-stress environment or just losing track of an item. Being in the OR, you're under stress constantly. It could be a high-stress surgery. It can be anything. The doctors just want to move quickly, which makes you need to do your counts quickly, and you need to keep all of your items accounted for, but that is not always possible. These errors will happen, so it is important that the OR implement a new system that will be safe and efficient instead of everyone having to look for the missing item, which takes the concentration away from the patient. The patient needs to be priority in the operating room. You need to have your eyes constantly on the operative site, but that doesn't always happen when an item goes missing. The article that was discussed above also discusses how incorrect counts are very common. The next section is on X-ray. X-ray machines are expensive and dangerous to the patient and staff due to the radiation. The machines are also very large and take up a lot of room in the operating room. When you have to bring an X-ray machine into the room, you are at risk for breaking the sterile field. You are at risk for contaminating items, and you have to keep everything sterile in the operating room. And there's not always room to get the X-ray machine in. So this can cause a lot of problems having to move the big machine in. The article also discusses that not only are X-ray machines dangerous to the patient, but they can also be inaccurate. When you take an X-ray of the surgical field, you might get a false reading. It might not be able to detect your surgical sponges, which can be a problem. The next section is the solution. The solution to these problems is the RF Assure detection system. This system comes with 3 different parts. These parts are the CommForm Plus mat, which is placed on the operating room table. And then there is the console, which is placed in the operating room near the operating table, which the mat is plugged into. And then there is the Blair port wand that can also attach to the console. The RF Assure is easy to use, time efficient, increases patient safety, increases quality of care, and saves the OR money. So the detection mat is placed under the patient, and there is no radiation used, which is increasing patient safety and staff safety. If an item is missing, the console is turned on and a scan is performed very quickly. You don't have to call X-ray, you don't have to bring a big machine into the room. All you do is hit a button, the patient is scanned, and you're most likely going to find the missing item very quickly. If the item is not on or near the operative table, you can use the wand. You can plug the wand into the console and you can scan throughout the room, under tables, under chairs, corners, anywhere an X-ray machine might not be able to look. By not using radiation, it is safer for everyone in the room, and quick and easy will save the OR time and money. The next section is the budget. The detection mat is going to be around $1,200. The wand will be around $600, and the console is about $800. The training costs, which will include someone coming to our hospital to discuss the new system and to train our staff, this cost is going to be around $2,400. So the cost of this whole system with training is going to come to around $5,000. Finally is the conclusion. The RF Assure detection system will benefit the operating room in many ways. As discussed earlier, it's going to save the OR time and money, and it will increase patient safety. We will no longer have to use X-ray machines for missing items, and X-ray machines are very expensive and dangerous. If there's an incorrect count or missing item, the staff will be able to find the item a lot quicker, and that will save the OR time and money, and we will be able to schedule more patients during the day and not have to worry about surgeries being delayed. And all in all, this is going to be a great system for the OR, and I look forward to implementing this. Thank you for your time.